What's up everybody, this is Austin with Average Joe Gaming, and today we're going to be reviewing Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. When the developer of Bayonetta and Vanquish took over the reins for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, we all knew that this was going to be a very different kind of Metal Gear. Now that the game is in our hands and fully playable, it's clear that Rising has more in common with the likes of Devil May Cry and God of War than it does with previous entries in the Metal Gear Solid series. This vast departure from the series may turn off those who don't expect it, but for those willing to look past its fault, Metal Gear Rising turns out to be a solid, albeit short, addition to the franchise. Rising has you stepping in the shoes of Raiden, a cybernetically enhanced mercenary tasked with protecting a political force in Africa. After multiple horrific incidents occur, Raiden turns his back on the company he works for and sets out on his own path to bring about his own justice. Rising's story picks up 4 years after the events of Metal Gear Solid 4, but the entire plot doesn't come close to what you expect from the series. The overall theme of the game is interesting enough, but Rising never really grips you. Raiden himself is a pretty flat character in the game, and you never really understand what changed in him between the end of Metal Gear Solid 4 and now. Even the cast of supporting characters and villains fail to bring any memorable performances to the game. Luckily though, Metal Gear Rising is all about the combat, and man is it fun. No matter how bland Raiden may seem when he opens his mouth, when his sword starts doing the talking, everyone should be listening. Switching between light and heavy attacks, Rising boasts a large number of combos to toy around with and cut up your enemies. Once you build up your energy meter enough, you can enter Blade Mode, a slow motion focus based attack that lets you aim your sword with exact precision and literally cut enemies to bits. Cutting certain locations will yield their inner guts that Raiden can absorb to regain health and energy, making it all the more useful. Blade Mode is an extremely satisfying and rewarding mechanic that is definitely one of the main reasons combat is so fun in this game. Outside of Blade Mode, there's still plenty of depth and variety to the fighting. Raiden can upgrade and unlock new weapons with battle points, which are awarded for fighting quickly and productively. The new weapons vary tremendously and are a welcome addition to your arsenal, my favorite being this weird, flexible, whip-like staff that does a great job at crowd control. You can also gain different rocket launchers and grenades to use as sub-weapons, though their effectiveness varies. In the end, there's a good amount of content to dig your teeth into, but the game does a poor job of showing you all you can do. It's not too difficult to figure out, but you will have to figure out a lot of stuff on your own. Rising is not a long game by any means. I was watching the credits roll after only 4 hours of playtime. It's a little upsetting that the story mode takes such a short amount of time to complete, but there are some extras here to keep you coming back. There are 20 VR missions to unlock and complete, multiple difficulties, collectibles to find, and you can even play through the whole game without killing a single enemy save for the bosses. There's a lot to come back to, but all those extras never truly feel like a substantial diversion from the main story for me. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is a splendid action game with amazing combat that simply fails to wrap it all together in a pretty package. As a Metal Gear fan, it's forgettable because there's just not much here to hang on to. I enjoyed my time with Rising because it has that same exciting action that exists in games like Devil May Cry and Vanquish, but when you're not swinging a sword, the game feels out of focus. This is Austin with Average Joe Gaming, and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance gets a solid 3.5 out of 5. For more news, reviews, and game talk, be sure to check out AverageJoeGaming.com, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.